A beautiful sunrise at the beach this morning. I'm back at Melbourne Beach. It's just a little chilly this morning. You won't see many people swimming in the ocean right now. Today I'm checking out several locations along the Atlantic Ocean. Then late in the afternoon I'll head inland and see a few more things before returning to Georgia late this evening. Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome everyone. Gonna be a great day. We've wanted to see this part of Florida for a while. Let's go. Looking at the seashells at the seashore, we're going to take home a few souvenirs. While there isn't anyone swimming, there are quite a few people fishing this morning. It's also interesting to see these people wearing shorts and also sweaters and winter caps. But you can't beat the ocean view right now. Now taking the pathway back to the parking lot. Got a lot of places to see today. Our last view of the ocean, now at the parking area, and as you might be able to tell, are the same place we ended the previous video. We're back at the Ponce de Leon statue, just south of Melbourne. This is a possible landing site when Ponce de Leon discovered Florida. This is about 10 miles south of Melbourne on Highway A1A. On the last video I mentioned the statue was put up a few years back when historians determined that Ponce de Leon landed near here instead of in St. Augustine. I'm not sure why he's depicted in this way, holding up a Christian cross in one hand and holding a scroll in his other. This informational marker notes Ponce de Leon likely came ashore here in April 1513, probably within a 5 to 8 mile range north and south. After landing here, he continued south and mapped the Florida coastline all the way to the Keys. So Ponce de Leon came ashore and walked on that very pathway we were just on. This is an interesting mural here, showing Ponce de Leon landing here over 500 years ago. This three-dimensional mural created by children at summer camp. It was unveiled in July 2005. Getting a look at the other dimension on this mural, it's like a completely different picture. My next stop takes me to Moo's Ice Cream. It's utterly delicious according to the sign. There's a big cow here, and next to the cow is a giant hot dog covered with ketchup and mustard. Here's also this cow with actual udders that can dispense fluid. We're going to be crossing a few bridges today. Lots of back and forth across the Intracoastal Waterway today. In the town of Indialantic on US 1 is this giant orange. This used to be an orange juice stand back in the 1960s. I think there were a number of these juice stands across Florida. But this one was restored by the Disabled American Veterans of Melbourne, which is used as a landmark of sorts for their building where we are now. Now heading to my next destination, and I'm navigating this diverging diamond intersection where I'm briefly on the left-hand side of the road. Now I'm at a very large sports facility in the town of Vieira, and my next roadside attraction is in front of me. I would have liked to have gotten a better shot, but this is a replica of the space shuttle. The space shuttle replica is 13 feet tall, roughly 1/14 the size of the actual space shuttle. Normally this is free to visit, but they have a number of children's baseball games around here and they are charging admission just to get into the park. Now in the city of Cocoa at Brevard Auto Paint and Equipment, where they have a giant paint sprayer in their parking lot. This is a good way to advertise their painting services, having a giant paint sprayer here. You can see how big it is compared to the cars in the parking lot. The sprayer has to be about 15 or 20 feet tall. Oh yeah, this shot shows the sprayer as tall as the two-story building. Back on Highway A1A in Cocoa Beach, I'm in the median of the highway where I find a sculpture of the surfer wearing a Christmas outfit. This is a sculpture of Robert Kelly Slater, known as the greatest surfer of all time. He won 11 world championships. This marker talks about Slater's many accomplishments. It's hard to get to this statue because it's in the median of a busy thoroughfare. Beneath the surfboard are the 11 years that Slater won a world championship. This is a pretty cool statue, but I think this statue should be on the beach and not in the median of a highway where people could easily miss it. Also in this median is a stone feature welcoming us to downtown Cocoa Beach. There is a small waterfall in the back. It's a nice median, but still this whole thing could be at the beach. The Florida Christmas outfit is pretty good though. The hat and the red shorts and the floral lei. A nice touch for late December. Just north on Highway A1A is a small homage to an old-timey TV show that was set in Cocoa Beach. This is I Dream of Jeannie Lane from the 1960s TV show featuring a female genie discovered by an astronaut. The show was on from 1965 to 1970 and starred Barbara Eden and Larry Hagman. The I Dream of Jeannie Lane was placed here in 1996 and Barbara Eden was here to dedicate it. Some people think I Dream of Jeannie is a direct ripoff of Bewitched. What do you think? Now heading out of Cocoa Beach, the world famous Ron John Surf Shop on the right hand side. It's the largest surfing shop in the world and founded in 1959. Now I'm heading back inland, not far from Titusville. I'm at Two Systems. Next to the Two Systems sign is this large boulder painted like the earth, but there's a twist to this roadside attraction. This boulder has a dark side, meaning what the earth looks like when it's not illuminated from the sun. It kinda looks like the dark side was added later. I see the countries under the gray paint. Still in the idea of having a dark side and a light side to the representation of planet Earth. My next stop is about an hour away, so I gotta get going. I'm on Highway 528, sometimes called the Beeline Expressway. See the construction to the right? That's where the high-speed trains are being built from Miami to Cocoa and then on to Orlando. The trains are operating from Miami to West Palm Beach as of the time of this filming, and by the end of 2022, the trains will run to a multimodal facility at Orlando International Airport. Now in the town of Oak Hill, Florida, at the Goodrich Seafood Restaurant, I see what is called a confused fisherman. He sure does look confused. It doesn't look like he's blocking out the sun. It looks more like he's lost his way. This restaurant has a fantastic view of the Intracoastal Waterway with lots of outdoor seating. You can see the back deck there. This is a great place to have a nice seafood meal right on the water. Looking at this guy some more, he looks like the Gordon's fisherman. Have you seen those frozen fish sticks in the freezer section of your grocery store? Just the Gordon's fisherman. Now a little further north on US 1 at Arthur Avenue. I'm at the art gallery of Peter Wolf Toth. Not too long ago, I went to Colquitt, Georgia to see a totem pole constructed by Peter Wolf Toth. This is where he creates the totem poles. Let's take a quick look around to see his works of art.
and provides community education about death and dying. Thanks to you all. We'll end on this email from Donna, who says, last fall, a few of us buried my dear friend at a lovely green burial site, Larksville Conservation in Tennessee. My friend was an extraordinary gardener and lover of nature, and she was excited to know she would be surrounded by woods, wildflowers, and birdsong. Today's producer was Catherine.
Now a little further north, in Edgewater, Florida, at the corner of Rio Vista and Riverside Drive, there's an interesting roadside attraction featuring a couple of trees. And when I say a couple of trees, this palm tree has been intertwined with this oak tree, two distinct trees that are combined. The oak tree grew around the palm tree, and then eventually grew outward on its own. Check this out. The trees are interconnected starting at the roots, and then are still connected up about 10 feet high. You can't remove the oak tree without killing the palm tree. They are completely connected. Getting a real close look, it's like the oak tree not only wound itself around the palm tree, it has become part of the palm tree. No space at all between the two trees. The trees are near other mangrove trees, which look like their roots grow from the river floor up to just about the river, and form a tree above that. Now in New Smyrna Beach, a little south of Daytona Beach, it kind of looks like I'm in the middle of nowhere, but I'm actually in a park. I've reached the 200-year-old ruins of a sugar mill. The sugar mill was part of the Kruger de Paster plantation. The sugar mill was raided during a war between the U.S. and the Seminole Native Americans. The mill structure was built on a type of concrete that uses crushed coquina shells. This marker lets you touch the coquina. These look like large pots where the sugar was processed. This marker shows how the sugar is made, and also shows the layout of the sugar mill. The sugar mill was once thought to be a much older chapel constructed during the time of Christopher Columbus, but it was later determined to be a sugar mill due to the structure's age and layout. There's a piece of machinery left here that was used to process sugar. Looks to be about 10 feet long. Here's another piece of machinery from when the sugar mill was still operational. Quite a few artifacts from the sugar mill on this property. Another artifact is over here. Walking over here, this looks like some sort of primitive oven using the small version of those pots from earlier. This is a very peaceful part in the middle of urban New Smyrna Beach. Now driving through the downtown area, I'm going to visit some ruins from generations ago. I'm near the New Smyrna Beach City Hall, not far from the river. Across the street at Old Ford Park is what is called the Turnbull Ruins of Unknown Purpose, lovely park in the middle of downtown. Over here are the ruins. There are conflicting reports about what was here. This could have been a fort to defend the city. This could have been a hotel or mansion, or perhaps a church. No one knows for sure. The ruins used coquina concrete, the same material as the sugar mill I just saw. This marker notes the 100th anniversary of the destruction of the Sheldon House in the 1860s, which was built atop this foundation just 10 years earlier. This marker indicates the foundation was repurposed for a hotel built by Jane and John Sheldon in the 1850s, but no mention of the original construction of this foundation. Now on a residential street, I see a small median in this road. This might seem like an odd place to put a median, so I'm going to get a closer look. It's actually a median that has a grave in it. This is the gravesite of Charles Dummett. He died in a hunting accident in 1816 and was buried where he died. When this area was built in the 1950s, the developers tried to relocate the grave. They were not successful in relocating the grave, so they just built a road around the grave. The gravesite is maintained by the nearby residents and is recognized as a local historical landmark. That's so strange that this fairly upscale neighborhood is built around a single gravesite. I almost missed the concrete hunting dog on the grave itself. Also looks like people have left coins here to make wishes, I guess. Now in Daytona Beach, just after the very heavy traffic where Interstate 4 merges into Interstate 95, I'm taking this exit to visit my first of 2 Buc-ees in Florida. This, I think, is the larger of the 2 Florida Buc-ees. It's also one of the largest Buc-ees in the country at nearly 65,000 square feet. I'm here to get some gas and get a little snack before my next destination. $2.82. That's a good price for Florida. Everything else is about $3.19. Continuing north, I'm now in St. Augustine. I'm at the shrine of Our Lady La Leche. First built in 1615, this underwent several reconstructions, the last one in 1918. This honors the Divine Motherhood of Mary. Due to the situation, only a few people can be in this edifice at one time. The shrine is also where families, particularly Catholics, pray for fertility. Also on this property is this gigantic cross. The cross is 208 feet tall and supposedly at the place where the first instance of Christianity was introduced to what is now the United States. At one time this was the tallest cross. It was once visible from anywhere in St. Augustine. It's also illuminated at night. Directly in front of the cross is a statue of a man, perhaps in prayer. This marker notes that the man is Father Francisco Lopez de Mendoza Grajales. This statue is on the National Register of Historic Places. They're continuing to find more ancient structures here. 10 years ago, archaeologists found additional structures that are at least 300 years old. The structures might also be a part of the original church that stood here in 1677, or perhaps the rebuilt church from 1702. This whole area is known as America's most sacred acre. There is also a cemetery on the property where the founders of an order of Catholic sisters are buried, as well as 6 Union soldiers from the Civil War. Here's the shopping and hotel area, Villa 1565. In the middle of this hotel is a large tree known as the Old Senator. This is a massive oak tree that was believed to be here in 1513, near where Ponce de Leon discovered the Fountain of Youth. This marker notes that the Old Senator is at least 600 years old. The trunk of the tree is massive. The tree has lights on it for the holiday season. Even the branches on this tree are huge. They are the size of trees themselves. Wide shot of the entire tree. On the left is the vehicle for guided tours that come through here and show tourists all the historic sites in the city. It's starting to get late. I have to head inland before the sun goes completely down. Before heading west, I'm stopping at the second Buc-ee's location. This one is not nearly as busy as the Daytona Beach location. I got myself a very large sweet t-shirt. They only cost about $10, but they sell out pretty quick. After about an hour, I've arrived in Starke, my final city on this part of the road trip. Here's a water tower in Starke with a tornado logo. The high school sports team mascot is the tornado. At Granny's Country Cookin' is this giant bull chained to a telephone pole. This is a statue of a rare white Brahmin bull with his distinct hanging neck skin and a hump near its neck. No telling how long this bull has been here, but the owner made sure to keep it chained to the nearby telephone pole. If you want to see it, it's at the corner of US 301 and Pratt. It could use a little rehab though. Not far away is the Bradford County Courthouse. In many county courthouses, you'll see a marker for the Ten Commandments. Bradford County is no different. But at this county courthouse, there is another marker with a different set of commandments. This one is dedicated to atheists. On this marker, it shows the beliefs of the American Atheist Organization. In 2013, the American Atheists took the county to court, stating the courthouse was a free speech zone and they were legally free to put a monument if the Ten Commandments were there. The American Atheists won the case and this marker was unveiled in 2013. Down the street is this fruit stand. Next to the building is a very large golf ball in the style form of an orange. This is the King's Country Produce stand on US 301 just north of Starke. They sell not just fruits but vegetables, jellies, and relishes. Oh, they also sell fresh eggs and honey. There are lots of places in Florida with an orange in front of it. Not so many with a big golf ball that's masquerading as an orange. My final stop on this video is to this fireworks store. You can already see it. It's this giant purple rooster. This rooster is very large, very visible from the road, but I think the color is lavender instead of purple. Looks like at one point the rooster had a mask on, but now it looks like it's been turned around. There's even a sign asking people not to climb on the rooster. I just noticed across the street from this lavender rooster is an old car on these two tall metal poles. Looks like the car has been there for a while. Now the sun has gone down. A very long day. I got the most out of the 10 hours of sunlight. Looks like some clouds are rolling in, but it makes for a great sunset. And that's it. One more video on this road trip going through Georgia on my way home. You don't want to miss that. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye! Kinda hard to see in the dark, but I'm back in Georgia.